Stalking charges in Bronx domestic violence cases. A stalking charge in a Bronx domestic violence case can disrupt your life immediately and place your future at risk. New York treats stalking as a serious offense, and when the allegation involves a spouse, former partner, co-parent, family member, or another domestic relationship, the case faces heightened scrutiny in Bronx Criminal Court. Under New York Penal Law Sections 120.45 through 120.60, stalking involves an intentional course of conduct directed at a specific person, for no legitimate purpose, that causes fear of physical harm, emotional distress, or threats to employment. A domestic violence case in New York is not a separate crime by itself, but a description for criminal conduct that occurs between people in a qualifying relationship. One of the most important parts of any stalking case is the course of conduct requirement, which means prosecutors must show a pattern of repeated behavior rather than a single act. That conduct can include repeated following, calling, texting, emailing, appearing at a workplace, or tracking someone through GPS or other electronic means. New York divides stalking into 4 degrees, with penalties that increase depending on the facts, prior convictions, weapons, injury, or the number of people allegedly targeted. Stalking in the 4th degree is a Class B misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Stalking in the 3rd degree is a Class A misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Stalking in the 2nd degree is a Class E felony that can carry up to 4 years in state prison and a fine of up to $5,000. Stalking in the 1st degree is a Class D felony that can carry up to 7 years in prison, and because it is a violent felony, even someone with no prior felony record faces a mandatory minimum prison sentence of 2 years. After an arrest, a person is typically arraigned in Bronx County Criminal Court, where the judge reviews the charges, addresses bail or release conditions, and usually issues a temporary order of protection. That order may require complete stay-away conditions or limited contact with strict restrictions against threatening or harassing behavior. If there is also a related family court or matrimonial matter, the case may move to the Bronx County Integrated Domestic Violence Court, where one judge can oversee the criminal and family-related proceedings together. The Bronx District Attorney's Office prosecutes these cases through a dedicated domestic violence bureau that also handles assault, criminal contempt, and related charges. Several defenses may apply, including lack of intent, a legitimate purpose for the contact, the absence of a repeated pattern, or the argument that the alleged fear was not objectively reasonable. A Bronx lawyer can evaluate whether the contact involved shared children, financial issues, or personal property, because those facts may affect whether the prosecution can prove there was no legitimate purpose. A lawyer may also challenge false or exaggerated allegations, misidentification, or weak proof that the accused actually sent messages, made calls, or appeared at certain locations. Orders of protection are a major issue because violating one can lead to separate criminal charges, including criminal contempt in the 1st degree, a Class E felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison. A conviction can also affect employment, housing, immigration status, firearm rights, professional licenses, custody, visitation, and a person's permanent criminal record. For many people, that means the consequences reach far beyond the courtroom and can affect daily life for years. Anyone arrested should remain calm, avoid speaking about the allegations, avoid contacting the alleged victim, preserve messages and records, and speak with an attorney as early as possible. An attorney can also assess whether the charge may be reduced, dismissed, resolved through an adjournment in contemplation of dismissal, or challenged at trial depending on the strength of the evidence. David Mejia Colgan, Esq., has handled criminal and domestic violence cases for more than 30 years, and his law firm represents clients in Bronx Criminal Court, Integrated Domestic Violence Court, and Family Court. If you are feeling overwhelmed by stalking allegations in a domestic violence case, this law firm wants you to know that help is available and that your case deserves careful, personal attention. If you need guidance right now, you can call the law firm of David Mejia Colgan, Esq. at 718-484-8820, and compassionate support is available as you take the next step. If you are ready to speak with someone who understands what is at stake, David Mejia Colgan, ESQ. At 910 Grand Concourse Suite 1F, Bronx, New York, 10451, United States, is available to help with care and understanding.